Look at this little girl. In one moment, she sits on her living room floor, surrounded by every toy a parent could buy, bright blocks stacked around her, colorful shapes within reach. She has everything. And yet, look at her eyes. Flat. Distant. Bored. Now look at her here. Same child. Same hands. But she's at the beach, fingers deep in warm sand, building a castle with nothing but a bucket, a shovel, and her imagination. Her eyes are wide. Her whole body is alive. Before age 5, this difference is everything. What if I told you that the toys piling up in your home might actually be stealing your child's future? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover could change the way you parent forever. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, how old is your little one? Knowing their age helps us keep these tips relevant to your stage of parenting. I need to say this clearly, right from the start, you are not a bad parent for buying toys. You are loving. You are generous. You are doing everything you can to give your child a good life. But here's the truth that no toy company will ever tell you: love alone doesn't wire a brain. Experiences do. For children under 5, the most powerful gifts you can give are not objects they unwrap. They're not things they can hold in their hands or stack on a shelf. They are something deeper. Something timeless. Something children decades ago had in abundance, and children today are slowly, quietly losing. Look at her again. Indoors, she's surrounded by structure, toys that tell her exactly what to do, how to play, where every piece belongs. But outside, in the sand, with nothing but simple tools and open space, she becomes the architect of her own world. She decides. She creates. She struggles. She solves. And with every handful of sand, every collapse and rebuild, her brain is doing something extraordinary. Here's what most parents were never taught. From birth to about age 5, your child's brain is building over 1 million connections every second. Those connections are not built by the number of toys in the room, but by what your child does with their body, senses, and emotions. When they dig in sand, climb, pour water, or turn a cardboard box into a spaceship, they're wiring the brain areas for balance, planning, language, and self-control all at the same time. That's why in this video, we're going to focus less on what you buy, and more on the environments and experiences that actually grow a strong, flexible brain. Walk into most homes with young children today and you'll see the same scene. Shelves lined with toys. Bins overflowing with blocks, dolls, cars, puzzles. Gadgets that beep, light up, sing songs. A room that looks like abundance. Like love made visible. But watch what actually happens. The child pulls out a toy, plays for 2 minutes, drops it. Reaches for another. Drops it. Says the words that break every parent's heart: "I'm bored." You just spent $50 on that toy last week. How can they be bored? Here's what's really happening. Every time you hand a child a new toy to fix their boredom, you're teaching their brain that stimulation comes from outside, not inside. The toy does the work. It lights up. It makes noise. It tells them exactly where each piece goes. The child becomes a passenger in their own play. But a brain doesn't grow from being entertained. It grows from entertaining itself. From inventing. From trying something that doesn't work, feeling the frustration, and trying again. When children have too many toys, too many options, too much novelty on demand, they lose the ability to sit with themselves. To dig deep. To create something from nothing. We think we're giving them everything. But we might be teaching them to wait for the world to make them happy, instead of building that power inside themselves. So what does a young brain actually need? Let me take you back for a moment. Think about childhood 50 years ago. A child wakes up, runs outside, and spends the morning turning sticks into swords, stones into currency, and a patch of dirt into an entire kingdom. No instructions. No batteries. Just raw materials and imagination. That child's brain was on fire. Every time they stacked those stones and watched them fall, neural pathways for physics and problem-solving lit up. Every time they negotiated rules with a friend, circuits for language and emotional regulation strengthened. Every time they climbed higher, balanced longer, ran faster, their brain and body learned to work as one united system. This is what we call unstructured, self-directed play. And it is the single most powerful brain-building tool for children under 5. When a child pours water from one cup to another, they're learning volume, cause and effect, and hand-eye coordination. When they turn a cardboard box into a spaceship, they're activating creativity, spatial reasoning, and narrative thinking all at once. Now contrast that with a plastic toy that talks when you press a button. The toy decides when to make noise. It decides what happens next. The child just watches and reacts. One builds a brain that asks questions, solves problems, and creates. The other builds a brain that waits to be told what to do. The difference isn't small. It's everything. So here are 5 gifts you can give your child that will do more for their brain than any toy ever could. First gift, give them space. Not a playroom filled with stuff, but open floor where they can spread out, roll, build, move freely. Outside is even better. Grass, sand, dirt. Space invites the body to explore, and when the body explores, the brain grows. Second gift, give them time. Unscheduled, unstructured, gloriously boring time. When your child says, "I'm bored," resist the urge to fix it immediately. Boredom is not a problem. It's the starting line of creativity. It's where imagination is born. Third gift, give them loose materials. A bucket of sand. A bowl of water. Cardboard boxes, wooden spoons, fabric scraps, shells, pebbles. Things with no fixed purpose. Because when there's no instruction manual, the child has to become the inventor. Fourth gift, give them trust. Watch our beach girl again. Her sandcastle starts to crumble. She furrows her brow, frustrated. Every instinct tells you to step in and fix it. Don't. Let her struggle. Let her try again. That moment of persistence, of figuring it out herself, builds confidence no praise ever could. And fifth gift, give them your presence. Not your performance. Not your constant narration. Just you, nearby, calm, available. A secure base she can return to. That quiet presence teaches her nervous system how to regulate, how to feel safe even when things are hard. Here's what all of this builds toward. A child raised with space, time, simple materials, trust, and your calm presence doesn't just play differently. They become different. They grow into adults who can sit with themselves without needing constant entertainment. Who see a problem and think, "I can figure this out," instead of waiting for someone to fix it. Who can regulate their own emotions because they learned early that discomfort doesn't require rescue. Who lead, create, and contribute because their brains were wired for agency, not passivity. Look at our girl one last time. Indoors, surrounded by toys, she waits for the next thing to capture her attention. Outside, hands deep in sand, she is the creator of her own world. 2 paths. 2 futures. Before you buy the next toy, ask yourself, is this helping my child become more of who they're meant to be? Or is it just keeping them quiet for 10 minutes? Because toys entertain for minutes. But the right experiences, the freedom to explore, the trust to struggle and overcome, these shape who they become for a lifetime. You don't need to spend more money. You don't need the latest educational gadget. You just need to step back, clear the space, and trust that the child in front of you already has everything they need to grow. What's one thing you're going to try with your child after watching this? Let me know in the comments. If you found these helpful, consider subscribing for more science-backed ways to support your child's growth. You've got this.